Just before midnight on April 30th, skywatchers across several western states saw a bright fireball streak through the heavens. A police officer working in the Northwest Valley caught a glimpse of the colorful object on his body cam. At nearly the same time, a Ring camera in the area recorded a strange noise and what sounds like a crash. One family living in a ranch-style home had a much closer view of the object. Two brothers and their father were working on a vehicle in their yard when they caught a glimpse of a sparkly object as it came crashing down, then were hit by what they describe as a shock wave. One of the witnesses, a young man named Angel, has stated when the brothers looked into the yard where the object landed, that spot was obscured and blurry, as if by unknown form of camouflage. What they saw next prompted a frantic call to 911.
So there's two people or two subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes. They have big eyes, like I can't explain it, and big mouth. They're shiny eyes, and they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
8 News Now investigators have spoken with family members multiple times in the past 4 weeks, but each of the 3 times we accepted their invitation to do an interview, they didn't answer the door or their phone. Multiple family members backed up the story in an initial police report we obtained. Angel says they heard the patter of multiple feet in the yard. They later heard footsteps on their roof. They saw one of the 8-foot-tall creatures climb behind the controls of a large front loader stored in the yard as if trying to engage it. He got a good look at one of the creatures, he said, a greenish-grayish being with large eyes and long legs. He says he could hear its deep breaths, and when he locked eyes, he was, in essence, frozen in place, couldn't move. In the middle of the yard, where the object had crashed, then vanished, a circular impression was left in the soil.
Okay, where is this on your property?
Metro sources say the police dispatcher initially wondered whether to send a crisis intervention team to help the troubled witness, but then took the incident seriously. 2 officers arrived 38 minutes after the call, and by then had heard from other officers. They proceeded cautiously and managed some nervous laughs.
I ain't dealing with that.
A few days later, the family says 2 Metro sergeants returned to the scene to ask follow-up questions. The family says they also saw men in suits and sunglasses driving in a car with government plates cruising slowly past the house in the following days.
We have all seen these blurry videos of unidentified flying objects. Video evidence, if you will, that old tales of UFOs may not all be conspiracy theories. In recent years, Congress starting an official U.S. government Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force, recently renamed the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, or AARO. And now in a News Nation exclusive, David Grush, an Air Force veteran, former member of that task force, and veteran of the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, is formally blowing the whistle on secrets he says no one has ever shared publicly before.
You are one of the most trusted former intelligence officials in the U.S. defense and intelligence establishment.
Yes, I was.
You were trusted with the most intimate secrets.
Yes.
What conclusion did you come to at the end of your time on the UAP task force?
The UAP task force was refused access to a broad crash retrieval program.
When you say crash retrieval, what do you mean?
These are retrieving non-human origin technical vehicles, call it spacecraft if you will, non-human, exotic origin vehicles that have either landed or crashed.
We have spacecraft from another species.
We do, yeah.
How many?
Quite a number.
You're kidding.
No, I have plenty of current and former senior intelligence officers that came to me, many of which I knew almost my whole career, that confided in me they were a part of a program. They named the program. I've never heard of it. And they told me, based on their oral testimony, and they provided me documents and other proof, that there was, in fact, a program that the UAP task force was not read into.
Grush alleges the U.S. government has recovered non-human craft for decades. He's filed a whistleblower complaint saying he gave what he calls the classified proof to Congress and the Intelligence Community Inspector General. News Nation has confirmed David Grush's credentials and resume. We've not seen or verified the alleged proof he says he's provided to investigators.
You are saying to the human race, for the first time, an official intelligence representative at a high level from the US government is saying publicly, we are not alone.
We're definitely not alone. Absolutely, the data points empirically that we're not alone, yeah.
Do we have bodies? Do we have species of
Well,
non-human?
naturally, when you recover something that's either landed or crashed, sometimes you encounter dead pilots. And believe it or not, as fantastical as that sounds, it's true.
So I've got to be blunt about this. You're not making this up. This is not a lie.
No, absolutely not.
Because everybody watching this right now is looking at your face. They're going, is this guy for real?
I am for real. And I'm sitting here at great personal risk and obvious professional risk by talking to you today.
We are looking into a story getting some buzz today. It shows a fresco of a crucifixion of Jesus painted on a wall in an 11th century cathedral in the country of Georgia. And if you look closely at the top left and right corners, you can see that objects, they appear to be some sort of flying crafts. The ships are dome-like with 3 trails coming out of the bottom, and UFO enthusiasts insist this is proof that flying saucers were present during the death of Jesus. But there is certainly no proof this is the case. Art historians say the objects actually represent guardian angels. Others speculate they represent the sun and the moon. Unfortunately, the artist is unknown, and his intent is lost to history.
The Baptism of Christ. This painting was made on January 1st, 1710 by Rembrandt's last pupil, Aart de Gelder, who was born and who died in the Dutch city of Dordrecht. In this beautiful painting you see that Jesus Christ is being baptized, but the interested ones are not really interested in the story but in the object you see in the air. In a Daily Express publication, the object is represented as a UFO. The tabloid writes that the UFO is similar to the present-day UFOs that shines a beam on Jesus Christ. But the Bible tells a different story. Matthew 3:16. As soon Jesus was baptized, he went up out of the water. At that moment heaven was opened, and he saw the Spirit of God descending like a dove and alighting on him. Were aliens really present at the baptism of Christ? The crucifixion of Christ. When you search for the crucifixion of Christ, you do not come across this painting so quickly. Perhaps because this painting shows something that is not meant for our eyes. This painting can be found in the Serbian Orthodox Christian monastery Visoki Dečani in Dečan, Kosovo. Regardless of what have been explained by experienced debunkers, conspiracy websites such as the Ancient Aliens have their opinion that these are UFOs and not angels. They dispute the debunkers. Why are the heavenly angels drawn with halos and wings and those two objects in the sky are very different? The artist distinguishes the angels with these two objects. That is clear. Although this is possible, the sun and the moon, this is also disputed because it is utterly disrespectful by giving the solar objects, the sun and the moon, a face. Conspiracy theorists make a link between Jesus Christ and the extraterrestrial. With who? Do you agree? UFO in a Romanian church. A disc-shaped UFO depicted in a 14th century Romanian church wall painting near the birthplace of Vlad the Impaler, known as Dracula. The object looks very similar to other paintings and coins which are believed by UFO believers to depict as UFOs, like the French 16th century coins called jetons, show the same object as in the Romanian church. What this strange looking cloud is doing above a burning church is still a puzzle.